Hey everyone. So we've all gotten pretty used to chatbots, right? They can answer our questions, they can write stuff for us. But what if your AI could go way beyond just talking? What if it could actually do things for you? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. The big leap from conversational AI to truly autonomous agentic AI, and how you can actually build it on Microsoft Azure. Here's the game plan for today. First, we'll get clear on what it really means for an AI to be agentic. Then, we're going to pop the hood and look at its core architecture, see how it actually thinks. After that, we'll zoom right in on the three most critical pieces: planning, tools, and memory. Then, we get practical. We'll see how you can build these things with Azure. And to wrap it all up, we'll take a peek at what the future holds for this amazing tech. All right, let's get right into it. We're moving beyond the chatbot. This is all about a massive shift from an AI that just gives you answers to one that actively gets stuff done for you. And trust me, this isn't just a simple upgrade, it's a whole new way of thinking about AI.
I mean, really think about that for a second. Right now, you ask an AI to write an email, and yeah, it spits out the text. You ask it to summarize a report, it gives you a summary. But what if you could just say, hey, find the best flight to London for next Tuesday, book it with my details, drop it on my calendar, and shoot a message to my colleague to let them know? See, that's the huge leap we're talking about.
And that brings us to this really critical difference. A standard large language model, even a really good one, is basically a knower. It's an expert at finding, understanding, and packaging up information for you. But agentic AI, well, it's the doer. It understands your goal, it comes up with a whole strategy, and then it actually executes the actions to make it happen. It's kind of like the difference between a librarian who finds you the right book and a personal assistant who reads the book, books the flight mentioned in it, and manages your whole schedule around it.
So how does this doer actually work? How does it think? Let's peel back the layers a bit and look at its core architecture. We're basically going inside the agent's mind to see how it gets from a simple request to a completed task. You know, at the heart of every agent is this process that's surprisingly human. It's all built around a continuous loop. First, it perceives what you've asked for. Then it plans out its strategy. Next, it acts on that plan. But here's the really brilliant part. After it acts, it observes the result. Did that work? Did it get the right info? If not, it adjusts the plan and tries again. It's not just a script running from top to bottom. It's a constant cycle of thinking, doing, and learning as it goes.
And that entire loop is managed by these four key components. Think of the kernel as the conductor of the orchestra, or the central nervous system. It's directing all the traffic. Then you've got the planner. That's the brain, the strategist. You've got the tools, which are like the agent's hands, allowing it to actually interact with the digital world. And finally, you have memory, which gives it context, so it's not starting from scratch every single time.
Okay, so let's double-click on those three big ones we just mentioned: the planner that thinks, the tools that act, and the memory that remembers. This is where we really get to see the agent's mind work. The planner is really where the magic happens. This is the part that takes a big, kind of vague goal like plan a weekend trip to Paris and breaks it down into a concrete to-do list. 1, search for flights. 2, find hotels near the city center. 3, check for museum tickets. 4, create an itinerary. It turns that fuzzy idea into an actual, actionable strategy. But not all plans are the same. A sequential planner is great for simple stuff. Just do A, then B, then C. But for more complicated goals, you need a stepwise planner. This one's a lot smarter. It takes a step, looks at what happened, and then decides on the next best move based on that new information. It's adaptive. It's like a GPS that reroutes you when you hit unexpected traffic. Of course, a brilliant plan is pretty useless if you can't actually do anything with it. And that's where tools come in. These are literally the agent's connections to the rest of the world. A tool can be anything from a simple web search to a complex API that can pull data from a database, or even a script that sends out a perfectly formatted email. This is what grounds the agent in reality and turns its thoughts into real-world actions. And of course, none of this works without memory. Memory is what stops you from having to explain everything all over again every time you talk to the agent. You've got short-term memory, which keeps track of the current conversation, and you've got long-term memory, which lets the agent remember facts about you, learn your preferences, and build a truly personalized experience over time. Okay, so that's the theory, right? A super powerful blueprint for an intelligent agent. But how do we go from these cool diagrams to a real working app? Well, that's where we pivot and look at the actual toolkit you can use on Microsoft Azure. And that's the question every single developer asks, right? This is awesome, but how do I build it? We've talked about the what and the why, so now let's get our hands dirty with the how. And this is what's so great. Azure maps perfectly to that blueprint we just talked about. Your command center, the place you put it all together, is Azure AI Studio. To orchestrate that agent loop, your kernel, you've got prompt flow. To build the brains, the planner, and connect all your tools, you use the Semantic Kernel SDK. And for that all-important long-term memory, you've got Azure AI Search. See? It's a perfect one-to-one match. For every piece of the architecture, Azure has a service waiting for you.
So we've got the blueprint, and we have the tools to build a really powerful agent. But the true mind-blowing potential here is unlocked when we start to think beyond just a single agent. So let's look ahead for a minute and ask, what's the next frontier? What happens when these agents start working together?
The future probably isn't about one single super agent that does everything. It's about whole ecosystems of AI. Just imagine teams of specialized agents collaborating. A research agent finds some data and hands it off to an analyst agent, who then passes a report to a writer agent to summarize it. We're also talking about agents that can improve themselves, that can literally find and fix their own bugs. In assistants so proactive, they handle things for you before you even know you need them. It's all leading to this incredible level of hyper-personalization, where your AI becomes a true digital partner.
So we've gone from a simple chatbot all the way to an autonomous agent that can plan, that can act, and that can learn. And this technology is just moving at a wild pace. It really leaves us with this one fascinating question to think about. As we build these things, are we on the verge of creating the ultimate assistant for both our personal and our professional lives? It's a pretty exciting thought.